Am I the asshole for not voting for my boyfriend? My boyfriend and I hosted a PowerPoint presentation night with all of our friends, total 10 people. It was a big bash where everyone would do a PowerPoint presentation on a predetermined topic and then vote for the best PowerPoint. First place and second place winners would get a couple bouquets of flowers. We were all having a great time and everyone presented and we cast our votes, reading out loud the number of votes each person received. After winners were announced and flowers were given out, my boyfriend pulled me aside. He was incredibly upset that he hadn't gotten any votes and that I had not voted for his presentation. I told him I only got to cast 2 votes, first and second place. I was just trying to vote for the ones I thought were the best, and some of our friends put incredible amounts of effort into their presentations. Some friends dressed up, one friend wrote a song on guitar, another included a 3D animation they made in theirs. While I loved the presentation my boyfriend did, and the topic was really funny and he loved getting to share it with the group, other members of our group clearly put a lot more effort into theirs. I told him it was a tough call, but I didn't want to be biased. I could tell he was still a bit upset, even after the party was over. I apologized and told him I should have voted for him. Am I the asshole for not voting for my boyfriend's presentation? Not the asshole. It's supposed to be fun and he took it all too seriously. Something can be good but not the best, and that's just life. You didn't say it sucked. You get 2 votes and his just wasn't what you considered number 1 or number 2. Also, I don't believe in lying to our partners to stroke their egos. Been with my partner for over a decade and we are honest with each other, like you were. You said it was good and funny and he put effort into it, but to you it wasn't number 1 or 2, and that's okay. I was going to say that the real question is why the hell are you making PowerPoint presentations for a party? But then I read on and it sounded kind of fun, lol. Not the asshole. That's ridiculous for him to just expect you to vote for his only because he's your boyfriend. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer to not get any votes, but who cares? It's just a silly and fun party. He really needs to relax. Wait, y'all do group projects and PowerPoint presentations for fun? Tears of joy. Info. Did he vote for yours? And did you win? I'll say nah, because you were of course reasonable to vote for the best. But he is also reasonable to face the embarrassment of everyone knowing even his girlfriend didn't vote for him since he got no votes. It wasn't a life or death issue, so one disingenuous vote would have been okay. Am I the asshole for telling my sister that having cats is not the same as having children? I, 26 female, have a sister that I'll call Jenna, 23 female. We're not extremely close, mainly because she was always closer to our younger brother, 22 male, but we still see each other pretty often. Last week, we were both invited by our mutual friend that I'll call Mary, 25 female, to her baby shower. The baby shower was super fun and it was a great occasion to reconnect with some friends from college that I hadn't seen in a while. Everything was going wonderfully. Towards the end of the baby shower a lot of the guests had left and Mary, my sister, 2 other friends and I ended up talking for a while. Those 2 other friends both have children and I have a daughter, so we were all giving Mary advice, telling her what to expect, and talking about baby stuff. Jenna was the only one in the group who didn't have children and wasn't expecting, so I guess she was feeling a bit left out. Because of that, she kept talking about her experience as a cat mom. Every time someone would tell a story, or talk about something they experienced with their children, she'd say that she experienced something similar with her cats. When we were talking about how being a parent can be exhausting, she kept talking about how having 3 cats was also hard work. No matter what we said, she was always bringing it back to her and her cats. At one point, one of my friends was talking about how much responsibility it was to raise children, and Jenna just replied, "Having cats is a huge responsibility too." I simply told her that that was not really the same thing and she got really defensive. She said that it was the same thing, and started to talk about all the ways that having cats can be demanding and a huge responsibility, and said that we were basically shaming her for not having children. I tried to tell her that it wasn't an insult and we weren't saying that it wasn't demanding or anything, but that you can't compare having pets and having children. I have both cats and a baby, and it's nowhere near as exhausting to have a cat as it is to have a baby. She said that we were disrespectful and invalidating her experience and didn't talk to us again until we left. She hasn't talked to me since. I get that she was feeling excluded from the conversation and maybe tried to find a way to insert herself in it, but also I feel like it makes sense for us to be talking about children since it's a baby shower. Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up, but I also don't feel like what I said was really wrong, and I'm feeling like she might be overreacting a bit. But I don't really know how to feel about it, so I thought I'd get another perspective on this. Edit. I just realized that I didn't make it really clear that when I told her it wasn't the same, it was meant as a joke. Not a very funny one maybe, I'll give you that, but I really wasn't being mean. It was supposed to just be a light way to reply to her, not at all an insult. Parent and pet owner here. While some of the responsibilities are similar, parenting a child who will go out and shape the world and our futures is a whole different ball of wax than caring for my animals. My cat is my baby. He's my whiny little toddler that yells at me to go to bed at a reasonable hour and pushes his water bowl out into the middle of the floor so I'll trip over it. The reason I have this big orange idiot is because I know for certain that he's easier to care for than a baby or kid at any age, or even a dog, and dogs are way more work than cats, to me. Not the asshole. If your sister still doesn't believe you, invite her to take care of your kiddo for the weekend, see how she feels about caring for cats versus kids after that. To defend your sister a bit, it's probably annoying as hell if you three were all just talking about kids non-stop and she probably felt excluded so tried to relate any way she could. Info. Jenna was the only one in the group who didn't have children and wasn't expecting, so I guess she was feeling a bit left out. Because of that, she kept talking about her experience as a cat mom. Jenna just replied, "Having cats is a huge responsibility too." I simply told her that that was not really the same thing and she got really defensive. What were her silly comments harming? Why did you feel compelled to shut her down? Not the asshole. I can leave my 3-year-old cat alone for 8+ hours. If you tried doing that with a 3-year-old human child, you'd be in trouble for child abuse, and rightly so. I love my pets. They are not like human children. Not the asshole. I get your sister trying to find a way to feel included as the only one without kids, but her comments were not all that helpful. Having pets is a responsibility, but it's nowhere near that of having a child. Cats are incredibly self-sufficient while a baby requires constant care. Her experiences, while meaningful, are just not relevant to the situation. I also don't think it's shaming to be talking about children at a baby shower. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my parents normalize my friend's name? My friend's name is Russian because his parents are originally from Russia. This has never been a big deal to me, but recently my parents have started referring to him by using the German pronunciation for the name. I told them to use his actual name, but they said that they can't pronounce it and that it's confusing. They never had issues with the name in the past, so I thought this was weird. I haven't mentioned this to my friend, but I'm afraid it might get awkward at some point. Am I the asshole? Info. Did you ask your friend what he thinks? It looks like you didn't. That's kind of the main thing that matters. Not the asshole, however. I say gauge this based off your friend. If it bothers your friend, then you should absolutely make sure your parents are saying the name correctly. If your friend doesn't really care, then this is not a hill you need to die on. Not the asshole. I absolutely hate it when people decide my name is too long or complex, and give me a nickname. It is incredibly rude. However, not everyone feels that way. It is fair to ask your friend if they mind being called that, and then go from there. Still rude of your parents to do it unilaterally though. My parents were from a Slavic country and moved to Western Europe. My name works in both languages, but I pronounce it the way people do here, not how my parents pronounced it. Same with my sister. If someone tried to call me by the Slavic version, I would think it was a little weird and tell them not to bother. Info. They previously used his actual Russian pronunciation, but now they're using the German pronunciation? If your friend hasn't had the opportunity to have an opinion on this yet, then neither should you. This is up to your friend. Nah. Am I the asshole for not giving my older brother a snack from my secret snack stash? I, 22 male, have an older brother, 27 male. I have a secret snack stash filled with snacks and foods from other countries outside of the United States that I add or eat out of every once in a while. My friends from outside the US send me snacks and I add them to the snack drawer and place the drinks inside my mini fridge next to my bed. Both are locked, and I help pay for the shipping cost for my snacks to come in. Some of these packages that I get and help pay for can reach up to sometimes over $50. So I take care of these snacks and do not like to share with my friends or family. My family is aware and fine with this besides my older brother. My older brother has moved out and lives with his fiancée and 5-year-old kid. He comes over every weekend because my parents host a Sunday night dinner. But he also normally brings his son Jackson, fake name, over to be babysat by my mom while he goes out. Every time he comes over I become upset because he'll come into my room and say something to the effect of, "How many snacks do you have now?" Or, "Come on, you should give me something." He will beg me for one snack or drink from my collection, but I've explained several times that they are my snacks and I'm not willing to share. And before anyone says, "Well, why don't you just give him one?" When I was 14 I had a snack stash that didn't have a lock on it. I felt generous and let my brothers at the time take one thing. I stayed the night at my friend's house and they ate all of my food while I was gone. I collected snacks again at 19 and started my new stash after I got my mini fridge. My brother asked if I could watch Jackson for him this past Saturday while he and his fiancée went on a date. My parents were busy and I didn't have work, so I agreed. Jackson came over around noon and I gave him my Lego box and he started playing with them. At around 2 p.m. Jackson told me he was hungry and wanted to eat. I opened my drawer and gave him a small bag of chips and a bottle of water from my mini fridge. Jackson ate his little snack and then we both played with Legos together. Later he was picked up by my older brother and made his way home and I didn't think much about it. About 30 minutes later I was scrolling on TikTok when I got a phone call from my older brother and he was shitty. He explained to me that on the ride home Jackson mentioned me giving him a snack from my drawer and asked if he could have snacks in his drawer too. My brother is shitty with me that I'm willing to give his kid a snack and not his own brother. I explained to him that he had lost my trust the moment he had decided to take my snacks when we were younger and that a 5-year-old kid is not going to be able to get food themselves and that I was doing my job in making sure he was fed and cared for. It's been almost a week and I slightly feel bad. He's grown up since then and maybe I should just give him one small snack. But I don't think it's rude to give a kid a snack because he's hungry. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. I have a secret snack stash. But how is this snack stash a secret? Everyone in this post seems to know about it. Not the asshole. No, don't feel bad. He is an adult and can start his own snack drawer if he wants. Also, if you did give him just one snack, then he would keep on begging you even more for snacks after that. If he is being shitty at you giving his kid one of your snack, then tell him that you will no longer be babysitting for him as he is not even grateful for your time. Not the asshole. Don't you ever give him a snack. This is beyond everything. This is about brothers. Deny him, deny him, deny him. I hope he asks. I hope you continue to give to his son. I hope y'all never tell Jackson what's going on. I want this lore for you both. He's doing this at 27 years of age? Your brother doesn't deserve anything from your stash. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your brother is a big baby. He expects the same kind of treatment you'd give a 5-year-old? He's whining to you about not getting treats while you're doing him favors? Not the asshole. But if you want to be a nice sibling while simultaneously being a bit petty, you should get your brother a snack box for his birthday and tell him it's so he can start his own collection and stop bugging you for yours.